Welcome to Handi Quilter Watch and Learn. Have you ever wanted to go to a quilt show? Are you wondering what you need to do to be prepared and what you should do while you're there? Well, today we've got all the tips for you. I'm Kim Sandberg and this is
Christina Whitney.
And we are studio educators here at Handi Quilter. And we want to talk today about our guide as educators to going to a quilt show.
Yep. So it might be a little bit different perspective than a regular show attendee.
Yeah.
But we got a little bit of everything.
We did. And we are super lucky. This is actually part of our job. We get paid to go to quilt shows.
Rough life, I know.
But we do have to work at the quilt show. So as you mentioned, it's a little bit of a different perspective. Yep. But we always have some time to enjoy the things that make going to a quilt show so much fun. So we want to share with you our top tips.
Yeah.
So
first of all, let's talk about how to pick a show to go to.
Yes, let's do.
So for most people, it's the location.
Yep.
If it's somewhere that they're going to be, then great. Some people make it a destination.
Yep.
So location is always a big thing. Timing, what time of the year it is, what the weather's going to be like. I know for our little trip, it was February in Utah, and we got to go to Florida. So
it was really hard to talk us into going to this show, let me tell you. It was 80 and beautiful the whole time we were there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing that people don't really think about is the size of the quilt show.
Right.
If it's a local show that might be smaller, or if it's like a regional show or one of the big shows.
The big national shows, yep.
And I think that there's a time and a place for each one of those.
I agree.
And for, the different people.
Yeah.
But knowing what to expect and preparing for that.
Absolutely.
So what are some tips that you have on preparing to go to a show?
Yeah.
Like deciding a small, medium, or big?
So one of the things I always like to consider going to a show is the number of quilts I'm going to get to look at. If you're going to a smaller show, obviously there's not going to be as many quilts. However, if you're going to like a local guild show, often you'll actually know a lot of the quilt makers, which is fun because then you kind of know the stories behind the quilts. That's always really fun to see. The same goes even with regional shows. I know that we have like a regional show here in Salt Lake City, and when we go, we actually do know, because we know a lot of people in the quilting community here, we recognize a lot of the people, so that's fun. Another thing to consider is do you have maybe a tendency to get overwhelmed by a ton of stuff to look at? So starting at a smaller quilt show is a great way to do that. I know here we do a quilt show in Layton, which is about 20 minutes north of here. The Utah State Quilt Guild does one, and it's a nice show that they put on every year. But to walk the entire show of quilts, I mean, even if you're looking really closely, is like 2 hours tops. It doesn't take that long. But those kind of shows are great to start with if you just want to kind of understand what a quilt show is. It's just a display of a lot of quilts. There's usually vendors there that you can buy stuff depending on the size of the show. Sometimes the local shows, especially the guild shows, won't necessarily have a lot of that. So those are things to consider.
Yeah. Versus, a larger show, you might want to be spending several days going through all of the quilts and the vendors and pace yourself.
Yes.
I've seen lots of people just come in and get so overwhelmed that they just shut down.
Yep.
So take your time. Don't worry about getting through the whole show in one day, but really enjoy it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's a good question to ask yourself too before you go to the show. Am I going to the show to look at quilts to get inspiration and all the good stuff that comes with that? Or am I going to this show maybe to do a little more shopping, which can be a lot of fun too?
Yeah, we got tips for that later too.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So.
Okay. So another thing to think about when you're trying to pick which show you want to go to is what type of quilting interests you.
Yes, I totally agree with this.
So modern quilters are going to really want to go to QuiltCon. More traditional quilters might want to go to,
say, like Paducah.
Paducah, yeah.
An AQS show. Yeah.
So there's different types of shows depending on the different style of quilting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, if there's a certain display that you're wanting to see, some displays travel from show to show, and you can see that at different locations.
Exactly. So like the Cherrywood Challenge, if you're not sure what that is, you should look it up. The Cherrywood Challenge every year. It's for mini quilts. Those are so much fun to see. I've seen those at regional shows and at the big shows. I've never seen one at like a local show. So if that's something you're looking for, find out where that display is going to be and plan to go to one of those shows. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So.
Okay, other things to think about. Yeah. Hotel location.
Yeah.
Transportation.
Yes. How are you going to get there?
Yeah. Who you're going to go with. So those are things to think about. And those questions were answered for us for this show that we just went to. We got really lucky and we flew into Orlando.
Yes.
And we were already buddies.
Yeah.
So
it was easy for us to take a friend. Like that's always my number one tip for a quilt show. Yeah. Take a friend. It's a lot more fun to go with somebody so that you have, you know, if nothing else, somebody to hold your bag while you go use the restroom.
We do a lot of that.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so we actually flew into Orlando and picked up a car.
Yes, we did.
And from there, we got to drive in a lot of traffic.
Yes.
I didn't find an alligator.
No.
But we got to drive and go all the way to the Daytona airport.
Yes,
woohoo!
And we picked up more people. Yay!
And from there, we went to the hotel. Yeah. And by the time that we got there, it was dark. But that's okay. We got checked into our hotel and we got to wake up to an amazing surprise.
Yes. So the hotel we stayed at is probably the coolest hotel I've ever stayed at for a show. Location. So beach is here. Hotel is on the beach. And across the street right here is the conference center. And all of our hotel rooms had a beach view.
Okay, so Kim, that was the view from your hotel.
Yeah.
So if you had a window on the opposite side of your hotel room, this is what you would see.
Yep,
That
exactly.
is the convention center from our hotel.
Yeah.
So we literally walked across the street and we were there.
It was amazing. I've never been so close to a venue.
It was fabulous.
It was fabulous. We didn't have to drive anywhere. It was great. We loved it. We loved it.
Okay, there we go. So good morning. It's day one. We're walking across the street. We're getting ready to go. The Daytona Quilt Show. Right. We've got the sun up. It's in our eyes. It's beautiful. Right next to the beach.
It is.
It's amazing. And we're just so excited to get to work.
We are in the Handi Quilter classroom in Daytona. We are doing the sew-offs, getting all the machines ready to roll for classes tomorrow. Say hi, Kim. Anything you want to add?
This is part of the glamorous life of an educator. You get to come in and make sure the machines all work. Day.
We're good to go.
Okay, so Kim, let's tell everybody about the classroom.
Yeah.
Like, what exactly is the classroom and what is Handi Quilter's involvement in it?
So at shows, a lot of, especially the bigger shows, there's classes you can do. And these classes can start anywhere from just the first day of the show to even a few days before. Some of the really big shows, maybe even classes will start on Monday and the show doesn't start until Wednesday. These classes are so great because companies like Handi Quilter bring in an entire classroom of machines. So if you want to take a class and find out what it's like to run a Longarm quilting machine, that's what these classes are for, right?
Yeah. It's a great way to get your hands on the machine and play with them.
Yep.
If you're trying to decide if you're wanting to get a Longarm, it's a great opportunity.
It's also great if you own a Longarm and you're wanting to sharpen your skills. I know at this show, so we had classes, we had basic Longarming classes, we had an edge-to-edge class, and there was one on feathers that was very interesting. I'm trying to remember, what was the other class? It was
there were a few, and some of them are repeated.
Techniques.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to sharpen some of your skills, taking a class is a great thing. And there are classrooms like this that are hands-on classrooms. There's also classrooms where it's a lecture demo. So somebody will show you how to do different techniques. You always get great information that you can take home and you can work on projects. And there are classrooms that have Longarm machines and domestic machines too. So be sure and check those out if you're interested. It's a really fun thing to do at the shows.
Yep. And as far as I know, right now, Handi Quilter is the only Longarm company that is providing classrooms for Longarm classes.
That is correct, yeah. And our classroom travels on a truck, which we'll show you some more footage of later. But we have 12 machines And we actually have the capability of doing either Longarm free motion classes and even pro stitcher classes. There's not pro stitcher classes at every show, so if you're interested in those, be sure to double check and find the show where those are being taught. It's not always taught at the shows.
Exactly. Okay, so after we finish setting up the classroom, we got to go in and help finish setting up the booth.
The booth. It's always so much fun. So let's see.
So this is the entry going into the vendor area. It was a beautiful conference center.
Yes.
Okay. Still setup day. We're coming over here. There's John, Susan, and Nate getting everything all set up and ready for people to come.
Okay, we have this big, huge sign. I call it the balloon. You call it the
Space Needle.
Space Needle. And it's always fun to watch it go up and come down.
Yep.
One of the last things to go up.
And it is a full team effort, always.
Yep.
Well, while we were at this show, we believe that we set a record for how quickly we got the booth set up, because we had some really, really good motivation behind the hotel. So we showed up at 8 in the morning. We had the booth set up by noon. We went and grabbed some lunch, and then we headed to the beach.
Yeah,
So,
and this is not normal
No,
for educators at
not
shows.
at all.
We really lucked out. I think we probably worked like quadruple time, and we had an amazing team there working.
we did.
But we got some free time, which is
Yes.
unheard of,
Yes.
especially when you're right next to a beach and
Yes.
it's 80 degrees.
Yes.
So we lucked out. And Kim and I each took a quilt with us, and we wanted to get pictures of it in the wild. So in the Florida, in the wild was out on the beach.
Yep.
So here's a picture of my quilt that I took. And then Kim, we've got a video of yours.
So we finished setting up early. So I came down from our hotel, which is right there across the street from the conference center. And I've got my quilt that I brought set up on the beach. I'm ready to enjoy some quality time here along the boardwalk. And then if I just turn around this way, you can see how beautiful the beach is here. It's a perfect day to not be working at a quilt show.
So we say we weren't working. Oh, and by the way, Kim's quilt is actually hanging behind us
Yes.
also for this show.
Yeah.
We were down on the beach with our quilts, and of course, all of the quilters came running over to see what was going on. So we met these two lovely ladies,
Yes.
and they wanted to help us hold the quilts and take pictures and chat with us. So,
And we did a little video with them.
yep.
So check this out. We're on the beach and we found quilters on the beach. This is so amazing.
Ohio.
From Ohio.
Yes.
And Florida. And Florida.
I used to live in Ohio.
Yeah. We're from Utah.
We're
heading
out there in October.
What are you coming out for?
We're going to Emily Taylor collage quilt.
Oh, so Emily Taylor just came to the studio and did videos with us. You'll have to watch in April.
Yeah.
We're doing a whole month on collage quilting. In we have a show that's on every Tuesday at noon. It's actually on right now. We're supposed to be watching it.
It's also
we're at the beach. No, so we both work for Handi Quilter. We're educators for Handi Quilter. So you'll have to come by the Handi Quilter booth and say hi.
I will
Over
be
here.
because that is my dream.
Yeah.
Okay. This is awesome. This is beautiful.
So those were our new BFFs.
Yes, yes. And that is just the perfect example of the people that you meet at a quilt show. They're always so excited to be there. They're so excited to meet other people that love quilting. And yeah, on the beach, that's where we met our first group of quilters, which was fantastic.
Yeah. And I don't know how many times when we were in Florida, I said, I cannot believe how nice everybody is here.
Yeah.
It was fabulous. The people at the conference center, it was in. Anyway. Okay, so back to the beach. Here we
Yes.
go.
So, Christina,
I wanted to make a sandcastle, but I didn't have the proper tools, so I decided to make a sand quilt. So here is my sand quilt. I made little sawtooth stars in every other
I
block,
love it.
and we even wrote on there. And, you know, I have to humor myself sometimes. So that was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we got to spend time. And here it is, the sign going down to Daytona Beach right by our hotel.
yeah,
Yeah, we got spoiled.
yeah,
Not,
we
not the
absolutely
norm.
did. Not the norm at all.
So it's the end of day one,
beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida here. And I'm back in my hotel room. We had a great day. We set the booth up, we got the classroom all sewn off, all ready for classes tomorrow. And we got a real treat. We actually had a chance to go play on the beach just a little bit, which that's not normal for working on a show. But if you're coming to a show, you should definitely plan some time to do some of the fun stuff that's also in the area. So all in all, it's been a fantastic day. I'm really excited to get up tomorrow and have the show open. It's been so much fun today to watch in the hotel all the other quilters arriving. I feel like I can always tell a quilter by her luggage, his or her luggage. It tends to be colorful and bright, and there's usually some quilting implements hanging out at some point. I've seen lots of rotary cutters tucked in the side of things, ruler bags, things like that. So you can tell that people are here for classes. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow, so I'll see you on the other side.
All right, hey everybody, it's the beginning of day 2 for us, right? Yes. But it's the first day of the show. I'm so excited. I'm waiting to get into that building, waiting for all of the people to come, all our quilters, come and see us. So excited. Check out the classroom. It's beautiful weather here in Daytona. We're here at Ocean Center. And it's a great facility, super excited. Yeah, it's beautiful. We can't wait to get inside and see what's going on.
Here's some pictures in the booth.
Okay, so let's talk about the booth real quick. So for anybody that comes to our Handi Quilter booth, we have all of our machines set up there.
Yep.
We had an Infinity, a Forte, an Amara. We had a Moxie with Pro Stitcher Light, a Moxie without. We had one of the Amaras had Pro Stitcher. We had another one without.
And
we had a Capri, stationary,
and a Simply on a little foot frame.
Yeah, so
our full line.
Everything is there.
Yeah.
Plus, we have all of the accessories and stuff that we sell in the booth. So the purpose of this booth is to let people come in and try out these machines. And it's kind of like taking a test drive of a car, but it's of the machine. And you can see which machine is most comfortable for you, what you like. So we had a lot of fun with that.
We did.
Working in the booth and talking to people. So we also, we have to take breaks every once in a while. So there's a little tip that I was told my first quilt show that I went to is map out where all the bathrooms are.
Yes.
And every time that you go to the bathroom, take a different route to get to the bathroom so that we can sneak in as many quilts as we can. So I also take my camera with me so I can take pictures along the way. So we've got a few pictures here of some different quilts. We'll go through those kind of quick.
So that first quilt, just to make a note about it, that's actually one I'd seen in a magazine. And so I was so excited. It was in an issue of Curated Quilts. So excited to see it in person.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And these quilts are not in any particular order other than they were on my way to the bathroom. This one I really liked. I don't know why. It just hit home for me.
It's so photorealistic.
Yeah.
Like when I look at the picture on my phone, I'm like, wait, that's a picture. And then I'm like, nope, actually that's a quilt.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Some
quilts.
Fun quilts, another cabin.
They're just beautiful.
This one's got nice bright colors. This one, not so bright colors. Fabulous. This one had some fun quilting on it.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. It's just so awesome to see these quilts in person and being able to get up close and look at them.
Yes, one tip though, don't touch the quilts. You'll get yelled at. I didn't do it myself, but I did see some other people touching them.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I kind of call my Daytona quilt.
Seriously.
Because I got up each morning and went out to watch the sunrise and took some pictures of my quilt with the sunrise, and this is what it looked like, literally. So this is my Daytona quilt.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's actually called. Reflections on Another Day. So
that's actually a very fitting title.
Yep. So it was beautiful. This one, it got a ribbon, but this was a huge quilt. And let's see if we can zoom in. And Summer Fun. You can see that quilting in the background there, the quilting in the face. Look at that detail.
The realistic, yeah. This is one of those quilts that I know I stood back and then like walked closer and closer and closer to it. And it was one that got better upon inspection. And then you'd move back and look at it more and just appreciating the artistry that went into it. It was just a very eye-catching quilt.
This was my kid's favorite quilt. So some more fun here.
Yeah. So cool. What a fun, I love those fun colors.
So just finished up day 2, day 1 of the show. Oh, it was so much fun just to be around all the quilters again. We had so many great people come into the booth, and I even got to sneak out a little bit and look at some of the quilts, and they have been amazing. My goal tomorrow is to be able to spend a little bit of time looking at the rest of the quilts in the display, and then also to get a chance to look at some of the great things that the retailers that are at the show, all the people with the booths, are selling. I got lots of sneak peeks, but super busy first day. It was fantastic, and I can't wait to get up and do it again tomorrow. See you then.
Good morning. It is day 2 of the quilt week. I am a little tired this morning. It was hectic yesterday, but it was so much fun. So to get myself going, I decided to get up a little bit early and come down to the beach and walk around for a little bit. I'm gonna try to get the sunrise in and then get ready for day 2.
So Christina would walk down to the beach and watch the sunrise from the beach. And every morning I just opened the door on my room and watched the sunrise. So we both enjoyed it, just from different perspectives. Mine was 8 floors up and hers was at ground level.
Yep. I even attempted to run on the beach for like 5 steps. It was a beautiful beach. Anyway, okay.
Yep.
Let's get back to the quilt show. We've got you walking through the quilts.
All right, it's morning 2 of the show, day 3 that I'm here, and I'm really excited for the show this morning. I'm actually getting a little sneak peek first thing. You can see here behind me some of the quilts. Right there's the winner's circle. Look at that amazing quilt of that little girl. Oh my gosh, the quilts are so amazing. One of the sweetest things about coming to a quilt show, the opportunity to see just absolutely amazing, mind-blowing quilts. So get ready, the crowds will be here any minute.
So on this particular day, you were working in the booth, but I had a different assignment.
Yeah, you did. You got to be in the classroom.
Yes, so one of the roles of the Handi Quilter educators is classroom support when we have our machines there. And we just make sure that the machines are running, help with any questions that people have with the machines. And so this next video is in the classroom with all of our people that were signed up.
Today I am in the Handi Quilter Amara classroom. We've got 24 students on 12 machines learning about background skills. Fantastic class. This is one of the things I love about Handi Quilter. They're the only Longarm machines company that will take the machines to the different shows for these classes.
So Kim, do you have any tips for our viewers on taking classes at quilt shows?
Always take a class that is like a new technique you want to learn, maybe a new machine you want to try. And I also recommend, if possible, take a class with a friend, because often you are sharing your machine with somebody. And so it's fun to have a friend to be able to do that with. So yeah, that'd be my tips. The other thing, be sure and keep lots of water handy. You want to be sure and drink lots of water and wear comfortable shoes. Also, sometimes the classrooms can be a little cold or a little hot. The temperature is usually a little different in the classrooms than in the main hall. So dress in layers. No matter where you're going, Even in Florida, I know that in the classroom, we both were like putting on a sweater because that classroung was cold.
They had that AC cranked.
But when you'd go out on the floor, you were taking that sweater off. So having those layers,
Flexibility.
yeah, keeps you comfortable.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on and to show some more pictures of the bathroom trips.
The quilts.
Yep, the beautiful quilts.
Yeah.
This one made me giggle.
Well, that's you, Christina, right? A long red-haired girl strumming her guitar, living the good life with the sun there in the background.
Oh, good times.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I thought was so unique. Look at the tail, how it hangs off of the quilt.
That's so fun.
I don't know how people think to do stuff like
I know.
that. There was a section of patriotic quilts.
Mhm.
And so there's a couple of those there.
Fun ones there.
Oh, and then we're back to the booth.
Here's some footage of what goes on in the booth.
I don't even know how many people came through the booth that we
Oh.
got to talk to. So many people.
Hundreds.
It was fabulous.
It was. This is the first quilt show I've been to since 2019, and it was so wonderful being with Quilters again. I loved it. Yeah.
So I was at Houston this past year, and I almost felt like I had more people coming up at Daytona than in Houston.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, especially that first day,
Yeah.
we had a lot of people coming through.
We did. It was a very friendly show. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. Yep.
Everybody was so nice.
Yes.
Okay, another trip to the bathroom.
Did we mention drinking a lot of water?
Yes, stay hydrated. Okay, this quilt was actually quilted. It wasn't pieced, but it was quilted by one of our Handi Quilter ambassadors. So
Yep.
Jane Hopridge did this one.
Yep.
She did an amazing job.
Yeah.
She actually texted us and said, "Can you find my quilt?" So we were able to find it.
Yep.
With all of the bazillion quilts that were all around the place. Okay, as you first walk into the show, there is this big, huge banner up there that says, "Where do you quilt?" And there were stickers there, and everybody got to put stickers on where they were from.
Why don't you zoom in on that a little bit? It was really fun to see that there were people from all over the U.S.
That's my sticker right there. in the
Yeah, right
center.
there. There were even people, if you kind of go over, there were some people that were there from Europe. I noticed over on the map over there to the side, there were a few dots over there.
Yeah.
So we had people from all over, which was so much fun. It's one of the things about going to one of the bigger national shows, the AQS shows. People come from all over, which is fun. It's fun to meet people.
It was fun. We had that one girl that came up, and she was on the phone FaceTiming with her mom that was in Israel.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So
We had another quilter from Brazil that came in, and she was stocking up on stuff for her Handi Quilter because she's like, when I order this, it takes months for it to get to me, so I'm going to take it all home. So we helped her out, of course. Yeah.
So I'm walking around looking at some of the quilts that are on display, and they're just amazing, so inspiring. I love seeing the amazing creativity, the workmanship. Look at that whole cloth quilt. That's just beautiful. All that absolutely gorgeous quilting. Look at that. You can see that beautiful design there. The crazy thing is, this is all hand quilted. Wow. Can you imagine the amount of hours that took to quilt? Just amazing. A few other quilts here. Oh, it's just so much fun to be at a show again. So this quilt is a perfect example of why I love to come to quilt shows. This actually is using a really cool technique. I'm going to move in a little bit closer here so you can see. Look how she used these strips of fabric to create all of this movement. Even the hair up there. on this quilt. It's just amazing. I've never seen anything like that. It's so gorgeous. So this was done by a gal. I walked toward him like a moon princess. Her name's Natalia Lashko, and she's from the Ukraine. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name of the town she's from. But yeah, this is why I love coming to quilt shows, seeing something that is just completely different than anything I've ever seen before. Here's another quilt that just, I don't know, it just speaks to me. I love all this little teeny tiny piecing. So check this out. The squares are just tiny, but the movement and color play in this is just so interesting. Such a fun quilt. So this one is called Foreplay Fun by Cheryl Murphy, who's from Novi, Michigan.
Okay, so that was the end of day 2 of the show.
Yeah.
So day 3, again, I started out on the beach.
Yes.
So this picture is my inspiration for a new quilt design.
I love this.
I want to see who can tell me what this is. So put that in the comments. Let's see who can come up with the correct answer.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll tell you at the end if I remember.
Well, and I have to admit, I've never actually seen somebody take a picture of this particular thing as a quilting inspiration, but I totally get it. And I want to use that on a quilt. It's so much fun.
Okay. So we've got some sunrise pictures and a morning video.
Good morning, it's day 3. I'm back here at the Ocean Center conference in Daytona, Florida, and I am so excited to be working in the booth today. Come join us, and we look forward to helping you with any questions you have.
Now, Christine, I think you got a picture of every quilt that was in the show.
Actually, I don't even think I made a dent.
Oh,
There were a lot of quilts
there were
there.
a lot of quilts there, for sure. Oh, that one's fun. The octopus. Octopi.
I think this was Jane Hopridge's also.
Right, that she quilted, yeah.
Okay, so this isn't one of the quilts that was on display, but this was a charity project.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of shows have different projects that you can get involved with. But this one was a fidget project.
Mm-hmm.
So do you remember the details on this one?
So they were making quilts for, oh dang, I don't remember the organization, but these are quilts for kids that are fidget quilts. So you put all these fun little things on them. So you can see there on the screen. And on the table, they had boxes of the pom-poms and the buttons and the everything else. And you just sat down. It was called a sit and sew. And you sat down and you attach things to these to make these fun quilts that were going to be donated to this this charity for kids. So it's really fun. It's a great place to sit and rest a little bit, flex your creative muscles while you're there, work on something, do something fun for a good cause.
Yeah, getting that sensory feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
So this is one of my favorite videos. Christina likes to have a lot of energy. This is what she does at shows.
And I love that you giggle every time.
I do. But every day at the show, late afternoon, there's always kind of a little bit of a lull. We come up with ways to entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
So that night we got to go somewhere fun for dinner that had a lot of great local cuisine, and Christina was the really brave one. She ate. Are you guys ready for this? Let's watch and see.
Okay, I'm here at Millie's with my alligator ribs. So being wild and crazy and going with the local cuisine.
The rest of us ate fish. We felt like that was local enough to Florida. But Christina liked the ribs, and they were actually, you said they were pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And now I can say I've eaten alligator.
I know. So don't be afraid to make some plans to enjoy some of the great local cuisine when you go to a show too. The food at shows
Depends on the show, probably.
Yeah, it depends on the show. But planning somewhere fun to go for the evening, be sure and check and make reservations if you need to. Like I know this restaurant we went to, we did have to make reservations a couple days before. So just be aware of that if you want to do some fun places to eat.
Exactly.
All right, well, here's an end of the day video by me.
Yes. We had a fun experience this day.
We did.
This day.
So it's Friday night, 7:51 p.m. and as you can see, I'm in bed. I am tired. Shows are a lot of fun, but they are you're on your feet all day, you're talking, it's fun, but it's also exhausting. I'll totally admit that. Today was a pretty amazing day. I got some time to really walk around and look at some of the quilts, check out some of the other vendors, which was really fun. But I had a really touching moment in the booth. I've had a gal come up to me and thank me for the videos that we've made, which I really appreciated. But she started sharing her story about how she got her quilting machine during the middle of COVID, and she wasn't able to get any training because there were, restrictions. And she thanked me for teaching her how to quilt, and she got choked up. And we both cried, and I gave her a hug, and that's what I love about teaching. I love helping people understand something, get that aha moment, teach them how to do something that I love, and teaching them how to love it as much as I do. So it was really awesome to connect with somebody that way. That's one of the great things about coming to a show. You get to meet people that you would never meet otherwise. Oh, it was just a fantastic day. So in the meantime, I am absolutely setting the goal to be awake until 8 p.m. tonight. I think I might make it, but then tomorrow we'll get up and do it again. Tomorrow's the last day of the show, so it's going to be a busy day. I'm supporting the classroom in the morning, which is going to be really fun. I always love seeing how other teachers do their thing. I love watching students have those moments. And then we'll pack up the classroom, and then at the end of the day, we'll pack up the booth and the truck, and we'll call it a show. So I'll see you in the morning. Hoping to get some good sleep tonight so that tomorrow I'll be able to be on, not lose my voice, and be able to just have a great end to the show.
All right.
That was a great story. I met that lady too afterward, and she told me about it and how you guys had chatted, and it makes everything worth it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do all these videos and stuff, and you kind of think, okay, how many people are like really learning from it? So when we hear stories like that, that makes it again, it makes it worth all the effort that we do.
It absolutely does. That was the payday.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Okay.
So
let's move on to some more inspiration.
So Christina has a picture here. So what's this one?
This is the wallpaper in the hotel restaurant.
Of course.
I like to find weird things.
Yeah.
This was a flower outside.
So pretty.
And we've in the past worked on some collage quilts. I'm thinking, that might be something kind of fun to make into a collage quilt.
That would.
We'll see. Okay, so this is the last day of the show. So of course we've got to do some more. We've got some sunrise pictures.
Yes. Well,
we've got more quilts.
Yes, more quilts. Imagine that.
First, make sure you bring your credit card and money. And also make sure that you bring extra luggage space. So you can take all your stuff home with you.
Yep.
And we talked about earlier, but comfy shoes.
So important.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
We don't care about style when it comes to shoes. Well, some people do, but I don't.
No, I don't
care
either.
more about my feet.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And don't be afraid to bring multiple pairs of shoes, even to wear on the same day.
Yep.
I didn't do it at this show, but some shows I'll actually change my shoes at lunchtime, and it really does help.
Yep.
Withstand it all day.
So I think Kim got a video that I wasn't planning on, so here we go.
The move for Paducah, because I already did jazz hands for this one.
Yeah. Jazz hands?
I posted it.
Okay.
Okay. So you're next. Why are you still filming me?
Because.
Okay.
We need some more today. Oh, okay. So what are you working on?
Iris and I are doing a round robin.
I love it.
She did the first round, then I did this one, and then she added on. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do.
Awesome. So I love at the end of the show when we're trying to fill up the show-offs, right?
Yes. You would think though that if we're trying to fill it up that we would do big stuff, but I think we're going to do a little bit of micro.
Okay.
Here.
I love it.
I wish I had my micro foot on though.
I know where you can find one.
Yeah, maybe I should go put it on. Maybe
All right.
I'll add a little swirl in there.
All right, I'll come back and take a picture when you're done.
Okay.
Okay, now it's time for the takedown.
Yeah, so we've got some great videos here. This first one is a time lapse of the initial teardown of the booth. So this is actually over maybe 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. It's actually quite a long period of time I had my my phone running. But it just kind of gives you an idea. We're packing everything up and getting it out of there. A lot of people moving around. I wish it really went that fast.
I know, but we did record time. Again, I think the team was so efficient.
Yep. They're all hard workers, and we had that booth torn down in like an hour and a half, ready to go out on the track.
All right, Christina, what's going on?
We are doing the teardown. The show is over. Kind of sad, but we're exhausted, so happy at the same time.
Seriously.
But yeah, we've got all of our helpers here. Actually, we're the helpers right now.
We are. We are.
So tearing down all the machines, loading them up on the truck so it's ready to go to the next event.
Yeah, exactly. You can see Casey in the background there.
Wave, Casey.
Hey, Casey.
Wave. And we got
Casey paying
Iris.
attention. Yeah.
Can't see
They're lifting, oh yeah, there's Nate over there. They're lifting the tables onto the special crate. That's like the secret sauce, right, for this booth?
It is so cool. It's amazing how you can put 12 classroom machines with their frames and all of the booth machines on full-size frames, everything into this truck. It's just amazing. It's like total Tetris.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So, well, we probably better get back to work, right?
Yep. See ya.
So this is the truck that we load everything into, and they've only have a few things in there right now.
But if you look here, we've got, those are the 12 classroom machines that are loaded up, and all of their frames are there, and everything's just waiting to be shoved into there in a very, very specific order.
Yes.
Everything has its place, and it just boggles my mind how much they can get in there.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty amazing. And on the way to the airport, we made a wrong turn, and
The navigator had some issues. That would be me.
We actually found our road. Look at this, Educators Road. It was only like a quarter of a mile long. It was just enough for us to make a U-turn, get back, and get on the correct freeway. But we just thought that was so fun. We'd never seen Educators anything, so that was so fun.
So, super fun trip.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Forgot to mention, I actually bought a souvenir t-shirt from
did.
the quilt show, and
She
I'm
did.
super excited. It doesn't really look like a quilt shirt, but look, it's got like the orange peel.
Oh, it does. And it says Quilt Week there at the bottom. So that's another fun thing to look for souvenirs at the shows. They often have t-shirts or other fun things
Lots
that you
of
can pick up.
pins.
Yeah, as memorabilia. I know for me, I have a board in my sewing room where I put all my name tags from the shows I've been to. So there's fun things you can keep as memories of them, along with all the awesome fabric and other things you might buy and bring home from those shows.
So hope you guys enjoyed. We had a lot of fun.
We did.
And going to quilt shows is, for us, a lot of work as educators. But to be honest, I think I would be just as tired as a regular person just walking around, because I would be all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
So start your training program now.
Yes. Get in show shape, as we like to call it.
Yep.
And get ready to enjoy a show. So be sure to give us a like and subscribe, and have fun quilting.